of really heavy themes: guilt, abuse, depression.
Yeah. What
trauma,
makes
and
Silent Hill really
creativity.
popular here, guys? Like, we all know we have to like put our hands down. This is the truth about Silent Hill. The team that they are going for is a mature team. You know, like it connected to real life stuff. You know, that's basically what's going on. Like that's part of it. What make Silent Hill very popular, like in our medium right now. It's clearly the approach to go for the more mature team, depressions, psychological stuff. You know, something to do with mental illness, all of that. Like, it's crazy, but that's what Silent Hill actually promotes. Even since Silent Hill 1, 1999, PS1 Silent Hill that I'm about to play tonight, it's they have some very interesting theme going on around it.
Between gameplay, art direction, and story to get you there. The player character James Sunderland arrives in Silent Hill after receiving a letter from his wife, who's been dead for 3 years after losing a battle to an unnamed terminal
This will be a
illness. He
spoiler,
finds the
isn't
town
it?
shrouded
Like,
in
if I watch
fog,
this one, it'll be a
teeming with
spoiler.
monsters, and peppered with a few other characters who are also there on their
Yeah, I
own
don't mind about
mysterious
spoiler
journeys.
anymore.
Everyone's acting super weird. Major David Lynch
I'm not gonna
vibes.
remember
I'm
anyway.
looking for someone.
Who is it?
That's a top-notch voice acting, guys. 100%. No one can say no to that. 100%. That's a top-notch voice acting there. Can we rewind from that part?
I'm looking for someone.
Listen.
Who is it?
Exactly. Top-notch voice acting. Boom! PS2 era. Let's go.
Someone very important to me.
People were skeptical of a remake. Part of the original game's horror lies in its low resolution. Impressive graphics for the time, but still graphics that resulted in a certain amount of obvious
I don't know. I will agree with that. Like, part of what makes it horror because low resolution, whatever that thing is. I don't think part of it is low resolutions, but yeah, I don't think I will agree with that. But yeah, go ahead, sir.
sophistication of detail, leaving much to the imagination. And that can be really scary. The remake, of course, would come with realistic graphics and modern mechanics, and on top of that, Bloober team have been chosen to develop it. Not a developer with a good reputation. Can a down-on-their-luck developer remake a watershed game in the medium's history? Can a megacorporation interested only in money and the taste of human flesh use
Now I
their
understand
capital
why
to
people
fund a
like
meaningful
very
art
skeptical
piece about
about
the
it.
human condition? Well, the Silent Hill 2 remake was released in October 2024, right in time for spooky season, and guess what?
Yep. Very positive review. That's
really
what it is.
Don't. It's okay if you disagree with me. A
Did
lot of
you
people
say
do.
that
We can
you
have
do
different
not
opinions.
like Silent Hill Remake 2? Did this dude just say that? What's going on? This is interesting.
Developer with a good reputation. Can a down-on-their-luck developer remake a watershed game in the medium's history? Can a megacorporation interested only in money and the taste of human flesh use their capital to fund a meaningful art piece about the human condition? Well, the Silent Hill 2 remake was released in October 2024, right in time for spooky season, and guess what?
Yeah, very positive by lots of people.
I don't really like it. Don't. It's okay if you disagree.
That's a
with
nice
me.
editing,
A
by
lot
the
of
way.
people do.
Thank
We
you.
can have different opinions about art. I'm not here to ruin your fun. I'm here to talk about remakes and why Silent Hill 2 is such a weird one. And I have to admit, I can't quite say that the remake is bad. There's something about it that I'm really drawn to,
I don't
and
think it's bad.
transfixed by. And most of the reviews that I've read and seen pay very little attention to this mysterious element, whether they're glowing or otherwise. This thing that's bored itself into my brain. And I think I know what that is, but I'm not sure Bloober Team does, and they made the thing. So be honest with me. Which do you think is a more interesting adaptation? This
Oh, I got this. No problem.
or this?
Are you kidding me? What the heck? But what's your point, sir? Let's see.
It's the one where Donald Trump is also a dinosaur man, right? I mean, it's not a good film, but if I had to choose between the two, I think the best adaptations are the ones that significantly differ from the source material in one way or another. On the other hand,
Yeah, I can understand why he's what he is or who he is. I think I know what kind of group that he fall into or fall under. He's the one that liked some changes, but like lots of other players, they really don't like lots of changes. You know what I mean? Like a lot of other players, like the community, especially Silent Hill community, they want something that really is specifically for that thing itself. Like if you want to adapt or you want to remake that game, you gotta make sure that the game feels this, at least have 70% of it still feels like the original game. You know what I mean?
Consider Watchmen, a film that was almost a shot-for-shot remake of the graphic novel, except with a bunch of things cut for time and an obvious telegraph of the ending.
So began my path to conquest. Conquest not of men, but of the evils that beset them.
You're not supposed to know that Ozymandias is a bad guy until the end of the film, and look at him!
The world will survive, and it deserves more than you've been able to
Evil
provide.
sounds my
He's obviously the bad guy. Who was this film for? Adaptation is repetition, but repetition without replication. And the good ones understand that there needs to be something interestingly new in the way that they're retelling a story. Remakes, like the one of Silent Hill 2, are just another form of adaptation. Instead of adapting the source material to a different medium, you're adapting it to a different time period. Now,
This guy just having
is
some
the time
dinner
period.
here.
And the Silent Hill 2 remake manages to differ from the original game in significant ways while still remaining interested in the inherent value of the original. And that's really good. I'm glad, because it's the first bar that they needed to clear. But some of those changes work better than others. I'm going to promise you something.
What's the better one than others?
Switch from the fixed camera
Ah,
angles of the
yeah,
original.
that is a very important issue to address here. I think he made a good point here. I mean, he happened to make his point, but what I'm trying to say is that he's probably gonna have a good point about these camera changes and stuff. I like Silent Hill 1, 1999. I like that game a lot. Like, it holds up. Now it's 2024. It still holds up, you know. I mean, I still feel like it. If you remake just the graphic, all the other thing like the gameplay, the level design, all can be original, you know. I mean, just remake the graphic, just give it a better graphic, and it'll be like a modern games, 100%. It feels like so, you know. Silent Hill 1999, and then we got this Silent Hill 2 remake that changed this camera thing, you know. So I don't know how it feels. I never actually played Silent Hill 2 remake. I hope I can. But yeah, we shall see how it feels. Torin Ram in the house. Hello, hello. How are you doing, Torin? Is everything great? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream.
Over-the-shoulder style in the remake, but I will not complain about it. Pinky swear. But I do have to bring up the fact that the original Silent Hill 2 is the only game that I can think of that made fixed camera angles in a horror game narratively cohesive. I mean, you walk into the room, the camera is facing your character, you can tell through audio cues that there's probably a scary monster in the room with you that you can't see, but all you can do is walk towards the screen. Rightfully concerned that a horrible creature will suddenly appear in frame and totally freak you out. It's terrifying for the player, but
that happened to me in Silent Hill 1. It's really a good technique to spook people up.
why would your character
Happens to me in Resident Evil 1 too. A lot of time. I like this idea about fixed camera and kind of like blocking your vision, the full vision of the full view of the whole setting, you know. And they can just hide the enemy like off camera, but just give you the sound. That's spooky as hell. That's a good idea. Whoever came out with the idea long time before, man. So good.
just amble towards a horrific creature? You know, like an idiot. The only way that can ever make sense is if your character is James Sunderland. It turns out that James's dead wife Mary didn't actually die 3 years ago. She probably died like yesterday. He became frustrated with his role as a caretaker. He couldn't deal with the blowback that he was receiving from his wife, who was grappling with her own mortality. And over time, he became sexually repressed. So he murdered her.
Dude, what? That's a major spoiler. No! I've never watched this video. Whoever suggested me to watch this video? Wait. It was me. But yeah, that's crazy. That's a crazy spoiler. Oh no, I'm gonna get that off. Or whatever. Continue on. God damn it, not done. That's tragic, bro. That's tragic, 100%.
And he told himself he was doing her a favor, that it was a mercy killing because she was gonna die anyway. But that's not actually the reason. He was also fueled by selfishness, and that is Silent Hill 2. Now, there's a good chance that you already knew all of that, but still kind of liked listening to me summarize it.
I didn't know all of that, god dang it.
Why is that? We're human beings. We like revisiting past experiences, even if they happen to be nightmares. Nightmares can be beautiful, and where there's beauty, there's comfort. Additionally, nightmares can hold crucial wisdom, truths locked behind fearsome metaphors that our minds conjure and must be decoded in order to fully understand their meaning. And that's exactly what Silent Hill 2 is narratively about. And it's also exactly the appeal of remaking it, diving into the same abyss in a different way, curious to discover if we'll find anything new, if not just the same old beauty. So what
It's
do
the
we...
same, isn't it? It's the same. That's why it's a remake.
I know this isn't what you would want,
What do you mean?
but I guess it doesn't matter anymore. You You're not here. Are you?
Damn. That's some pretty good acting. And good acting, that's kind of new for Silent Hill.
There's
Yeah, yeah.
something I gotta get,
Later, okay?
but it's really important.
What is it?
The best voice acting ever, guys.
Now, the conventional wisdom is that the original Silent Hill 2's English voice work is that it is the way that it is on purpose. The theory is that this disjointed, tonally erratic, situationally inappropriate voice acting was an intentional choice made to contribute to the unsettling, dream
I don't trust that. I don't believe that. Whoever came out with that story about it's intentionally made that voice acting sounds like very bad. You know, I don't believe that. I don't believe that theory at all. I think it's just all in all bad voice acting. It doesn't make sense for you to contribute into this dreamy world, dreamy light thing, or dreamy light feeling with a bad voice acting. What is that? Are you a kindergarten kid trying to figure out something new? Doesn't make sense. I have no idea why this theory just goes on and on and on and on about Silent Hill. I keep on seeing people saying the same shit in other video, the others video, the rest of the video, some Silent Hill videos comment like they keep on saying about the bad acting, the bad voice acting is intentional because it contributes towards the dreamy light thing. Shut the f up. No, that's not it. That's not it. Doesn't make sense. Whatever. Are you even listening to yourself? It's just bad acting. It's just bad voice acting. That's all. Oh, let's continue.
like atmosphere of the game, which it absolutely does do.
I
Did
killed
you just agree on that?
a
God dang it.
human being.
I kill a human being.
A human being.
This is really where you get those David Lynch vibes that I mentioned earlier. My favorite example for this comparison is Twin Peaks, a TV show with moments such as this.
That's a good acting, by the way. Now that's a good acting. It's still a good acting. It doesn't make sense. That's an acting. That's a good acting. You cannot take this and compare it to Silent Hill 2 voice acting because this is a good acting. It's purposely acted that way, but in a very good way. So I have no idea why people actually say that bad voice acting in Silent Hill 2 is actually intentional. Like,
Also
that doesn't make
moments
sense.
such as this.
Home there's dotes and dozy dotes and little lambs eat
Good acting again, so it really doesn't compare. It cannot be compared with Silent Hill voice acting, right? For real, those people who say that voice acting in Silent Hill 2 was purposely done, they have no idea what acting means. 100%.
And little lambs eat ivy.
It's just that it's voice acting. It's just a bad voice acting in Silent Hill
David
2.
Lynch and his films have always been listed by the creators of Silent Hill 2 as a major inspiration, so it stood to reason for fans to assume that the absurdly out-of-place and unnaturalistic voice acting was a nod to his style of direction. I mean, there's this.
Oh, that's crazy. I don't take it. I
And
don't believe
this.
it.
This town
Especially
is
when
full of
fans
monsters.
assume.
How can you,
know?
sit there and eat
When
pizza?
fans assume
You
when
can
there's
imagine that
it's not
everyone
really.
in Silent Hill 2 is acting so strange because their very humanity is gnarled and disjointed.
Nope.
Therefore, so is their way of communication and relating to one another. All the characters in Silent Hill 2 are withholding
Let me tell you. Okay. You know, one thing that I do not like about Community sometimes that they try to come out with a new shit just to defend on something flaws in a certain game. For example, From Software fans. Like I'm not taking a shot here to From Software community, but man, I swear to God, some of the community just came out with a new shit, with a new theory again and again, just because of certain thing happens in the game that seem off, you know what I mean? And they cannot accept the flaws of that game, so they came out with a theory. So this story happens to connected with lore. You know, shit happen like that, and fans make it out to be because cannot accept the flaws of a certain games, especially like Silent Hill 2, like past PS2 Silent Hill games. Man, can you just accept that the bad voice acting is bad voice acting? I have no idea why you guys keep on saying like it contributes to the dreamy light sequence. It does nothing to me. It does nothing to anyone. It does nothing at all. You made it up. You made it up 100%. Even without that bad voice acting, it can still feel dreamy in that game just because the visual said so. For God's sake, man. Humans, human being, just being human being.
Holding some sort of secret or truth. So voice acting that feels inauthentic is like a perfect fit for that theme. The bad voice acting also makes the player dissociate from the scene, just as the characters are dissociating from their own lives. But the thing is, factually speaking, the bad voice acting of Silent Hill 2 was in no way an intentional choice.
Everyone who played this game.
There you go. Thank you, my man. Thank you for saying that. Fucking hell. Let's just freaking punch those fanatic that cannot accept the flaws of the Silent Hill 2 game. Let's just give a punch to them, alright? I wanted to listen to this point.
Games knows that the dialogues have a very unsettling pace, and this hugely contributed to the otherworldly atmosphere. Was it your idea from the beginning?
Well, it wasn't intended. The only...
There you go. Thank you.
The only way in which I might say it was intended is that the voice actor of James had a kind of a limited ability to switch it up. Let's just say that. He pretty much could only deliver the lines the way he could deliver.
That's straight up saying that the voice acting in Silent Hill 2 are just bad voice acting. It doesn't make sense. It's not intentionally. I have no idea what human being actually came out with a theory about Silent Hill 2 bad voice acting is actually intentionally done for the sake of making it feel dreamy. I don't know what human being said this, but you must be very... I don't know. I don't want to say bad things about people, but yeah, that's just what it is. Thank God the director of Silent Hill 2 himself confirmed this thing. That's not a thing, that it's intentionally.
For them. And he didn't have a very natural way of talking in general. And so I think what people are hearing is, you know, Guy Seehee trying his best to deliver the lines the way I wanted them, but filtered through his own acting abilities. So it was not intended. After we did the recording, the team had to put it together. And not being natural English speakers, something to do with the way that they edited it, or something to do with the way the timing that it threw off the tempo a little bit, so that it sounded a bit unnatural in some cases.
I knew it. Silent Hill 2, it looks so great in here. Did you mop? I've always suspected this, but now it's finally been confirmed in a video with like 300 views on a channel with 2,000 subs, posted about 2 weeks ago at the time of writing. And now you can't unlearn that fact. The gaming media apparatus has totally slept on this. No.
I like this YouTuber. God dang it. I like this YouTuber. I want to be just like him. Make a good research and just prove to everyone that a certain thing, certain lore, made up lore by fans on software games that just made up lores is not yet confirmed. Just saying.
No mention of it anywhere else. Silent Hill 2's voice acting isn't some brilliant directorial choice. It was the result of mostly bad voice actors, and honestly, no offense, Jeremy, probably not the best voice direction either. And when you go back and read the interviews, you'll realize that David Lynch's films were only ever listed as an inspiration for the art direction, the visuals, the plot, not the acting style. Silent Hill 2 is way more Tommy Wiseau than it is David Lynch.
I did not hit her. I did not.
That's a good comparison.
Oh, hi, Mark.
And I love this fact so much because now I get to ask you this question. Does it matter? Does it matter if an element to an influential and effective piece of art was intentional or not, so long as it works? Does that element stop working when you know that it wasn't part of the initial vision?
Voice acting is bad, but the game is good,
personally,
so it does
let me
not
know in
matter.
the comments, but for me,
It does not concern
at
me
least
that
in
much.
this case, I don't really think it does. Why
That's
is
why I
accidental
finished Silent
brilliance
Hill
less
1 and say
valuable
it's a
than
good game.
intentional brilliance? Penicillin
Silent
was
Hill
discovered
1
by
have
a
a
full-grown
not too
scientist
good
man
voice
who
acting as
failed
well.
to close a petri dish before going on vacation. I mean, look at him. He has no idea how he got here. Death of the author, yada, yada, yada. But this whole thing gets way more interesting when you consider the performances in the Silent Hill 2 remake. They are much more naturalistic, more grounded in tone, basically the complete opposite of the original, and yet none of that seems to actually compromise the surreal, dreamlike quality of the scenes themselves.
I'm putting it down. It's a good video. This dude have 8,000 subscribers, man. I want to be one of his fans. I hope he actually reacted to my videos. Chris Wave, I hope you reacted to my videos, because you know what, you got 8,000 subscribers. I got 1,000 plus subscribers. No, I'm kidding. I got 200 subscribers. I'm sad, bro. But yeah, 69 comments. What a lucky number that is. You have no idea, isn't it? I am subscribing to you at 69 comments. I'm not gonna write any comments because, you know, want to keep it magical with 69 numbers. So anyway, subscribe to Chris Wave. Hopefully I can reach where you are right now, and we can actually talk about something in the future. Love you, my guy. Alright, ladies and gents. We are going to play Silent Hill 1 game. I hope everyone is ready for this madness, because Silent Hill 1 is awesome. Let me replay. Let me rewind that. Silent Hill 1 is